Building trust. So, how is building trust relevant to property investing? Well, it's relevant to absolutely every aspect of your life. It's especially relevant when you run your own business and you need to find clients. So, in property terms, we have a range of different clients. So, I have probably 3 or 4 sets of people I deal with every week. I have the people I'm training. They need to trust me, and they need to be satisfied that I'm the best person to train them, that I might know what I'm talking about, that the training is comprehensive, and that they'll be able to apply it. The second set of people I deal with are people who have insolvency problems, the houses in negative equity, etc. Those people, of course, are going through a really stressful time, and really probably more than the first group need to trust me. I have investors who I'm investing their money with them. I'm doing flips. I'm giving them a return. They need to trust me. And I've people that I'm buying houses from. I've agents I'm dealing with. I've solicitors. So I've an awful lot of different groups. So how do you earn trust fast? I notice as I've gone along, I've become much, much better at understanding how to build relationships with people. Suppose when I started out, and there was such fanfare about qualifying as an accountant, you thought it was all about your certificates and your qualifications, and you'd be almost carrying around a portfolio to show what you could do. Now, I still keep a portfolio to hand if people would like to see, but it's really much more about case studies on flips and before and after photos of jobs. It's more about people being able to see the type of work I do, and if they're happy with that and they'd like to invest in that, or they'd like to learn how to do it themselves. But I later realised as I went along, it's not about really qualifications. Yes, you need to be able to do the job, but it's about people. It's about liking and trusting, or as they say in marketing terms, know, like and trust. Nobody is going to want to deal with you until they know, like and trust you. So for that reason, if you see training, say, advertised online, you'll probably have watched several videos of somebody, myself included, before you actually go ahead and book training. It's the same with webinars. Most of us don't immediately know, like and trust somebody. It's a gradual process. But I can see a few people online that I know I got to like and trust far faster than other people. And I wasn't conscious that I was doing this, but I've noticed I've been doing it myself for years. I decided probably about 5 years ago, it's just too tiring not being completely honest and open with people and being yourself. You know, if you have a professional persona and your personal persona is different, it's absolutely exhausting. So I just gave up wearing suits and being an accountant, financial advisor some of the time, and being Catherine Brennan the rest of the time. It's just handier to be Catherine Brennan all of the time. So what I also noticed is that people can trust you more when they see. I would be the first to tell people my faults. So I would point out to people what I'm struggling with, what my weaknesses are, what I'm good at. I'm not shy of telling people what I'm good at, I suppose, either. I think I'm very good at training because I'm able to understand what other people, what they'll struggle with and what they won't struggle with, depending on what they already know. So say a person, I have tradesmen on training courses. They're going to be absolutely fine with pricing, project management. That's going to be second nature to them. Doing presentations to the bank is not going to be second nature and make them uncomfortable. So there are the things I'm good at and then the things I'm poor at. So I would say I'm I'm weak at sales marketing in a way. I'm on social media plenty, but I often am unclear what offerings we have, what courses people can do, etc. So, for example, recently I have started to view houses in a new area to me. It's a bit nearer home actually than normal, because in property industry you always feel you have to have a gold mine area that has a certain population and that houses are selling fast. But that has meant an awful lot of time in the car over the last number of years. You go to a view an hour and a half away, and if you've only one thing to view, half your day is wasted by the time you come back from that. Now I think we're going to also see a move towards the virtual viewings, etc. But I went to a new area and I noticed that I immediately could chat very freely to the agents, where I didn't have that ease 7 or 8 years ago. And the most thing I can pinpoint myself that has changed is I'm completely honest and open. I say, I won't waste your time. Is this a do-up or would this flip? You know, sometimes when us property people, everyone's been to courses, masterminds, they've mentors, and they're in all these online groups. So you're in danger of thinking you know more than an agent. And sometimes you will know more than an agent. There's some brilliant agents in an area and there's some not so brilliant. The same as every walk of life. The same as accountancy, the same as solicitors, the same as plumbers, the same as painters. What I've found is you will know by the way they answer. If I say to somebody, what I do is I like to buy these, do them up and sell them again. I'd be giving it back to you to sell. This is the amount of work I'm comfortable to do. Do you think it would be suitable for that? Because I don't want to waste your time if it's not. My relationships have improved tenfold with people since I started to be completely honest. Yes, they might try and copy my idea and they might start to go on all my websites and look at my before and after pictures, etc. But there's an awful lot more to it than that. They're not going to magically run off and steal my idea. So whereas years ago when I went to view and I never told them anything about what I was looking for, I would have gone in completely stuck to a script, or is this a 3-bed? Do you know what size is this? Furniture included. I wouldn't have told them anything about myself. I would have only asked questions. Whereas in opening yourself up, people have told me then about deals that are coming up next week, or they've said, no, this actually wouldn't really be suitable because it will never get more than this money for this. And then people are able to help you and see clearly where they can help you. So I would say that the most important factor in building trust fast is to be honest. When people are at the beginning of property investing too, they're often doing viewings that they're not really ready to buy a place yet, but they're trying to understand what they're seeing. And those people, I would need to be honest with agents and say, to be honest, if you're doing a group viewing, I'll go to it, or if you have another viewing before or after, but I'm probably not just ready to buy yet, but I would really like to see the place. It's far, far better than bringing them out as if you're going to offer the full asking price on wasting their time. Property sales in Ireland is a slow enough business, I think, because, well, definitely outside Dublin, outside the cities, because most stuff is poorly presented. So when I explain that I'm about really good presentation, I want to break ceiling prices with flips. This is how I want to get them. This is how many of them I want per annum. It's much, much easier for an agent to be able to work with me because they know exactly. And I also explain to them how I'm going to pay them, that some of the money is my money and some of it is investors' money. Because, of course, they're wondering how on earth you're going to buy 10 houses a year. Our car has a big dent on the side of it, which doesn't seem to be fixed. So you put yourself, by putting myself in the other person's shoes and thinking how much time and energy are they going to invest into me, and by being completely honest about what it would suit me and what just wouldn't suit me, I save both of us a good bit of time, and it allows the relationship to continue and to develop to the stage where you should get to the place where agents are able to ring you and say, oh, I have something that might suit you, and they mightn't even bother listing it beforehand. It would be much simpler to sell it to you off market and get it back in walking condition. So trust is all about not trying to find out bits without explaining, being open and transparent and honest, and saying, sometimes you'd be saying to somebody, can you do me a favour? Would you be able to explain this to me? Or could I possibly pick your brain for 5 minutes? I'm sorry to disturb you. And other times you'll be saying, no, I do actually have money to spend. I'm ready to go. My previous contracts are signed. Or I'm hoping I've money ready to go and my purchases are due to sign tomorrow. The more open and honest you are, the more people can invest their time and energy. Agents, solicitors, everyone has a choice who they invest their time and energy into. I'm no different. I've had clients that I've been trying to do deals with the bank for, and they've lied to me about what monies they had. And that really, really drives me crazy, because how can I help them when I don't have the full picture? I don't know all the facts. So I would strongly, strongly recommend you be open and honest. Now, not they don't want your life story, they don't have time for it, but be open and honest about your plans for the next 6 months to a year. Voice any concerns. They know the area far better than you do, especially if you're just starting out and they know their industry. Now, what they might know is, I notice that people who tell me ceiling prices, I break those ceiling prices all the time because some of them do not understand still the value of really, really, really good presentation. So we get more than they expect us to get. But that's okay, still, by being really open, honest, and pointing out any problems you see, or if I don't get this one finished this quick, I think I won't be able to do the next one. I also explain this when my own solicitor knows this, but he then gets junior solicitors. And I would sometimes explain then to them, saying, I'm sorry if I'm chasing you, but I need that money to do another one. This isn't a normal sale, it's a whole chain of things that has to happen every year for me to reach my targets. So strongly recommend, if you want trust, you need to earn trust. You know, your strengths, your weaknesses, where you're coming from, where you're going to build honest, open relationships with other professionals. So hope you found this useful, guys. Private message if there's anything which I can help you with.